Yes, us. Welcome to the Kefi Life podcast. My name is Kiki L, and I'll be your guide to creating a life of Ola Kala, all is well. Together, we'll get back to the basics, and we'll explore fresh new ways to flourish in mind, body, and soul the Greek way. You can look forward to interviews, stories, essential self-care strategies, recipes, and actionable takeaway Ola Kala moments. This is going to be so much fun. Let's get going. Πάμε! Our legacy for today is Οικογένεια or family. A fun thing to do is an οικογένεια tree. You'll learn about your aunts, uncles, cousins, and all your relatives before you. Our οικογένεια or family reunion is this summer in Kansas City, and I can't wait to learn more about my roots. If this sounds good to you, a good place to start learning about your οικογένεια is at the library. Maybe hit the Family History Center or Historical and Genealogical Society. Good luck, and hope you discover something really wonderful about your οικογένεια. Eleolado, olive oil, has been celebrated in the civilized world for millennia. Nearly eternal, the oil of this fruit has been more than just food to the cultures of the Mediterranean region. It's been medicinal, ceremonial, sacramental, and the foundation of great wealth and power. It is safe to say that olive oil is the ethos, the essence of Greek culinary culture. Today, the priceless and life-giving ingredients of this liquid gold can be delivered to you when you purchase your premium bottle of Kefi Life extra virgin olive oil from the region my parents were born, the Peloponnese. The coveted Koroneiki olive is extensively cultivated here in the southern part of Greece, which offers the unique microclimate needed to grow a fruit netting the utmost nutrient value for extra virgin olive oil. Kefi Life extra virgin olive oil, a boundless amount of value, high in antioxidants with anti-inflammatory properties, linked to good mood and improved mental health. Get your bottle of wellness today when you visit kefilife.com. Yamas, you're listening to the Kefi Life podcast. This is episode 169. Thank you for chiming in. If you're a new-time listener, appreciate you. If you've been around and you're loyal, you've been here for 3 years, boy, that's really appreciated as well. And I hope you've gotten something out of this podcast. There are a variety of episode topics. For anyone that's interested in communicating with me with ideas, suggestions, or comments, I welcome you to email me at kiki@kefilife.com. It's June, and June is busy. I don't have to tell you that. If you're part of a family or if you have people that you associate with and invite you to events, you know that there's so much going on right now. Weddings, showers, graduations, sometimes 3 and 4 in a day. You've got reunions and picnics and barbecues, bucket list trips, and the list goes on. And all of it carries along with it a central theme, that being family, and involving, these events do, relationships. So I'm going to bring you back a little ways to my first on-air job on the radio, which ties into the subject of family. And my first job was to play syndicated programs and announce commercials. I was about 25 years old at the time, and radio stations did not have digital equipment like they do today. I'm kind of dating myself, but I don't mind. I'm confident in my skin. As a DJ or a disc jockey, that's what I was. I would play audio or programs from cart machines. So the audio content would be on a cart, big, fat, thick cart, and I would slide it into the machine and push play. Or another alternative option would be to play a program off of reel to reel. And one of the shows that I was responsible for airing was called, and I remember to this day, Focus on the Family with James Dobson. Now, at the time, I was young and single, and I wasn't thinking about raising a family. I was just thinking about having a good time and climbing the ropes and the ranks of radio and hopefully making it to TV. But for some reason, I was listening to this one program with a lot of interest, because I think I played like 10 programs in a night between midnight and 5 a.m. This program just resonated with me. It was very interesting content, and James Dobson had a very pleasant approach and presentation and delivery. And what I remember about it is that Dobson emphasized the value and the importance of family life. And he would offer ideas and suggestions, and he would say that, hey, it's great to be together and have a family, but he'd also talk about, like, sometimes you have your ups and downs and your discrepancies and your miscommunication, but you have to hang in there. But in the total context of his show, it was very, very good and imparted such wisdom on me. All these years later, it's the program that I think about sometimes from time to time. And POV, my daughter likes to use that word. My daughter, Sophia, POV is point of view. My POV is that someone is always paying attention to your words, like I was to James Dobson's words. So fast forward now to 2024. I'm married. I have 4 children. And in 1 month, I'll be married almost 31 years, which is just like unbelievable to me. 3 decades is such a long time. And I sometimes reflect back on what I've learned from being a wife, a mother, and even a daughter. So in those 31 years and the years that I've been alive as a person, as a woman, I have come to the conclusion that what is really important for us as human beings and personal individuals, connections. It's all about connections. They're very important. So whether you're in a large family or a small family, connecting with a person like a sibling, an aunt, a parent, a spouse, connecting with that person one-on-one, taking the time to talk to them, just you and that person, is really, really beneficial. It allows you to solidify the bond. It allows you to listen to that person without distractions. And you even learn about that person and yourself. And there are a lot of examples I could share here, but we don't have like 30 hours. But just know that the connections that you have in your family, value them, take care of them, nourish them, and take the time to connect in a one-on-one fashion, whether it be a lunch or a walk to the park or a dog walk or whatever that might be. Connections are very important. Next would be our elders. Our elders hold the keys to happiness. They have the secret sauce. They've been around forever. They've experienced life. They've gone through life. And if they're of good character, they're certainly going to pass down some very good lessons and kernels of wisdom, if you will. Passing of the elders is kind of like the baton being passed on to the next generation. Like, what was their legacy? Will it attribute to your legacy? The former generation and the next generation are very important. Those linkages are very helpful in living a full and happy life with your family. Speaking of my family, and even mostly my parents, because my grandparents passed away when I was like 3 years old, what I learned from my parents and the lessons that I learned about family and what's important in family life is, there are a few here. We'll begin with faith. You know, I've talked about faith before. Having a belief in a higher being is very, very important, helpful, supportive, gives you courage. My higher being is God, and I've talked about it. So I believe that faith is very important. What about fortitude? Being forthright, being honest, being able to communicate on an honest level. Patience. In Greek, we say ipomoni. Patience is a virtue that is one of the most important virtues. And if you live in a family, or if you live with people, or you work with people, people are different. They have their different personalities. They come from different backgrounds. They have their ideas. But when we are patient with that other person, then we can put ourselves in their shoes. We can walk in their shoes. They can walk in our shoes. And it's not always going to happen, the result, overnight. But when we're patient, we can get to the finish line with success. Next would be, my parents were like famous for this, persistence. They had the map of persistence all over their faces. Coming from Greece as immigrants, not knowing the language, job, having money and all that, they just never gave up. And I absolutely adore and worship them for that. They are my heroes when it comes to so many things, but especially persistence. Another thing I would mention is bravery. Like, it's not easy to pull up the courage and say something to somebody in your family to keep it all together. You have to be brave. Look them in the face. Don't shove it under the rug. That could create a lot of different problems. So bravery. Love makes the world go round. There are so many songs about love, and I don't need to say any more about that except for how euphoric it feels when you love someone unconditionally. How about forgiveness? Have you ever thought of this? This kind of sounds like the religious virtues, but it's true. Like, the Stoics talk about it. The Jews talk about it. The Christians talk about it. It's very important to forgive because, hey, you're not perfect and I'm not perfect. I hope I didn't offend you, but none of us are perfect. We make mistakes, we screw up, we fall down. The important thing is to get back up, say, hey, I'm sorry. I'm not going to do this again. It was a really bad screw up. What did I learn from it? Finally, I want to say that it's important with family life to celebrate one another. And we go back now to the showers, the graduations, the baptisms, the bar mitzvahs, the trips with family. Celebrate one another. support one another, lift each other up, and know that that person is there to clap when you have that accomplishment or that accolade. So I think that all those things are important in family life, and they really make us full and make us feel happy. So that's kind of like the gist of it, but I'm going to squeeze that all into a box. I'm going to do a 4x4 here for a second. And the 4x4 contains, that box contains 4 F's: food, family, faith, and fun. All of it in the box. If I had a fifth thing in the box, if it was a 5x5, then it would be fitness in there, because I think it's important to move. But when you take your family and you sit down at a meal or a kitchen table or any table, and you have food and you share food and you break bread, that is a form of bonding with your family. Throwing faith in there, saying, hey, God, help us out here. Keep it together. Give us some guidance. Give us some support. And of course, having a ton of fun. You gotta have fun. Gotta enjoy your life. It's too short to not enjoy life. That's why I'm called Kiki Kefi, okay? Seizing moments, Kefi. Now, the circle of life, because I am at an age where my children are they're in their 20s, and the people that I adore ahead of me are passing away. You look at life and you say, this is pretty miraculous. From birth to youth to teen, young adult, middle adult, senior, adult, senior, each stage is teaching us something about ourselves, especially if we're paying attention and if our elders are of good character. By the way, someone is always paying attention and someone is always watching. So try to behave and act and be the person that is of good character to share a positive thing with the world. So in totality, friend, my experience, my observation, my belief is that at every turn, it is our relationships that keep us happy and buoyant and full of life. Family, it's awesome. If you stick together in the end, family will survive. Family will feel better connected and feel better physically and emotionally. So this summer and this year, take the time to celebrate your brood, your crew, your clan, your tribe, your people, aka your family. Listen, pay attention, connect, celebrate those that you love. If someone's hurt you, figure out what happened, resolve it, because holding a grudge will only fill you up with toxins instead of filling you up with endorphins and energy. For me, Kiki Vale, family is making memories with my favorite people, and knowing that these people will love and support me unconditionally is really a big blessing and such a bonus, and what life is all about. So like my dear friend Peter Fakiras used to say, and he has passed away, but he was a West Point grad, a wrestler, undefeated wrestler, married for 55 plus years. Pete Fakiras used to say, fight the good fight for your family. Fight for the good of your family. Let's figure out what we're going to bat for. It should be family. It should be for our personal relationships. And with that, I wish you Ola Kala, all is well. Nourish and nurture your familial relationships today, next week, next month, always, always, always. Yours and Kefi, Vilaya and kisses. Kiki. Yamas, it's Kiki Vale. Today, I'd like to personally invite you to sign up for my Tuesday newsletter. Why? Because here I will directly communicate with you, sharing additional wellness content and promotions that our team has created for you in mind. I promise not to overload you, only further inspire you. Visit KefiLife.com today, sign up for the Tuesday newsletter, bringing you one step closer to Ola Kala, all is well.
Kiki Vale is the founder of Kefi Life. She is passionate about whole person wellness and living a fulfilled life. Her Kefi Life podcast is created to simply and naturally help you harmonize the mind, body, and soul the Greek way. Visit KefiLife.com and check out Kiki Vale on LinkedIn and on Twitter. Join us again next time for more positive energy and inspiration on Kefi Life.